Love Them Knives channel, LTK here. Got a Willumsen design wee knife called a Stixx. So what do you think? The Stixx. You know, I've seen, Willumsen's done, and I guess you could just type Willumsen into a search, Willumsen knife, and come up with all the different collaboratives that he's been involved in, Kaiser, the Maddox, and stuff like that. But this is wee knife, and this is called Stixx, Stixx. And, I got the box right underneath it. Hey, by the way, and this is the 817A because it's blue, right? So you can get regular titanium, you can get it in bronze, that kind of thing. It's Bowler M390 blade, satin finish. Very nice. You got the pattern up and down here, the pattern back and forth on the flats. You've got cutout in the blade, which leads us to believe it's a possibility that this is also finger flickable, friendly, And whether you want to call it a frame lock or a bolster lock, it does have carbon fiber on both sides. No back spacer. Inset carbon fiber, real carbon fiber. You can see it runs all the way through. And a big, huge standoff here at the back that looks to be titanium. Looks like all the hardware's titanium, and that's not unusual for wee knives. And let me throw oh yeah, there's nothing going on there. Yep, that's magnetic, but there ain't much else that's magnetic on here, like nothing. So this looks like a total titanium build here. Nice. I didn't take this apart. Let's go peek inside, see what they decided to do. Obviously, they stepped down and made the titanium frame a lot thinner to, build down for get out of the way, for the putting the carbon fiber on there. But there's your hardened steel lock bar insert. I'm gonna guarantee you that's a ceramic detent ball in there, because that's what they've been using. So, and there's a screw that holds the hardened steel insert in. And other than that, there's nothing too fascinating right there. Now, while I'm grabbing tools here, let's take a look at this. Ooh, 16.5 millimeters, 0.64 inch thickness. Now, you can see that you've got, to me, this is contoured carbon fiber. It's really done nicely. I like that. I think the one thing that just jumped out at me when I opened this and took it out of the box was this. It's like, what's this? Why didn't they grind this blade back all the way? That just didn't make any sense to me. Let me see if I can find some kind of knife where I can just go. Here's the grind on this one, but there's a big, long, blank piece where it's not ground. And they could have brought it back further. And it does look a little weird, doesn't it, that way? Now, this is not a real big knife. So you're going, I'm not fitting on here. Well, it's tight. I'm really jammed up against here. Oh, all of a sudden, things have opened up here. Now I can really get up on here, and I can get close with the blade, too, for detail work and stuff. And while we're talking about the blade, it's Bowler M390, and it's really nice and sharp out of the box. Really nice and sharp. So, no problem with that. But this is kind of my vision of how Willumsen kind of goes anyhow. There you go. It is finger flickable. Of course. Come on. There we go. Any case, no, actually, this is so much easier. I like the middle finger thing. Yeah, you can kind of do that, can't you? So you can kind of hinder yourself from flicking the blade out because you're going to tend to get your fingers there. Wow. I did it once. There you go. No, that's not as much fun as this. This is so easy. And the flipper tab is really intuitive. Jimping, don't get quite why I'm doing that. Do you? This is your LZ. This is your landing zone. And that's pretty rugged. That's pretty rugged. And I'm not sure the other use for that this far back. When you pull this flipper tab, which is jimped up front, and you actually are making some contact with that jimping, and the flipper tab's not too tall. It doesn't overwhelm or look awkward with the knife necessarily, as flipper tabs go, that is. But when you land here, let's try push button. Yeah, it kind of puts you in a light switch position, is really more convenient. But when you land, you're right here. And I think if they wanted to put jimping, they probably should have stopped it right here and just put some jimping from there to there if they wanted to do that. Actually, they could have kind of built this thumb ramp-ish type of thing if they wanted to, rather than just kind of kick and then the blade comes up above there. Yeah, it kind of ramps in that way anyhow. You kind of fill in the space, but maybe, a few jimps here and a few jimps here and then stop it in here. Because if you're up here, this jimping is not doing you any good. If you're here, it is. I mean, I understand this, but my hand's a little big for this, which leads us to the question. White Mountain Knives, and there's your model number, all that kind of stuff. 208, so it's not like a $300 knife. A lot of the Wii knives are like, when they got M390 traditionally, they've been like $280, $290. This is 208. And then just remember your LTK discount code for 20% off. So this knocks it down to really, $190 free shipping, $188, whatever. So here you go, 8 inches overall length. So it's smaller than the Para 2, and it's not quite 3.5 inches. So it's about the size of the Para 2. Although, I don't know, we're going to have to measure the handle length. See, 4.5, where the Para 2 is a 5-inch handle. And let's get fancy out here. So that's a 5-inch handle. I could spread out on that real estate, and you can go forward here and here too. Okay, here you can go forward as well. Okay, but here, that's a little tough. And if this handle is 4.5 inches, just check this out. And reminds me, I was doing this the other day, and I'd almost forgotten. But okay, so let's say a little over 4.5 inches overall. But here's where you got to tuck in, right? So you got 3 inches pretty much in this little canoe, maybe 3.25 at best. Where if you're talking about the Para right here, you've got 3 5/8 before that, 3.5 at least. So you're missing some a little bit here. And if you got to be right in the middle of here, this is just right for me. This is about 1/4 inch or 3/8 small, although, see what I'm saying? This is comfortable. I mean, this is where it kind of should be, but I'm falling off here. So I almost got to do this to really get the spread I need for my hand. Reverse grip. Let's try this. Yeah, it's a little short there too. This is more comfortable. This is definitely more comfortable. Yeah, this kind of blocks me in. So if you have bigger hands than me, and there's a lot of guys that have bigger hands than I do, I'm a large but not an XL. So yeah, but if you got medium to small, then you're in great shape here. And I mean, I like the knife overall. It's really smooth. Okay, it's really smooth. Let me see if I can get out of the way of the blade here. The drop's really nice. And it's, yeah, it is really smooth. It's centered. No lock rock, no blade play, any of that kind of stuff. Not at all. And of course, it comes with, you know, in the box, and it's got the pouch. All those goodies that come with these wee knives. There you go. It's got a little silicone pack in there. Silica pack. And then you've got the microfiber cloth, the little wee knife instructions and that kind of thing. And then it comes inside the plastic in this pocket. And of course, you get a double pocketed type deal here. And it's good, you know, good pouch, good solid pouch. Nice there. So, I mean, this is just a matter of style. I like the carbon fiber on both sides. You know, at least that's symmetrical. Come here. Let's try not going to the slide area. 3.75 millimeters, 0.14 something, 0.147. And then, like we said, I said, you know, that was 0.64 here. So, yeah, it's at least that. Crap, I keep moving back, and it's getting bigger. So that's a handful here. It really is. This is very robust here. Back here. I don't mind a big, nice round handle. That kind of reminds me of the Tuyaknife Cebu. You got to check that out if you like a big, rounded, contoured handle that really fills your hand. That does too. And I don't mind the blade shape or anything. It's just, this looks kind of funky to me. Maybe you could have ground it back and then put a choil in here, you know, like a lot of knives have. Probably like the one I had just showed you with the Tuyaknife. I mean, that kind of has a go-forward position as well if you need that. I was thinking about something else, and I'm not sure if I got anything. This kind of does. I always wish that Best Tech would have pulled this choil area out a little bit more forward up here, but that's kind of what I was talking about. You can grind the blade all the way back and then just put a bigger choil there. So, in any case, but they didn't. So, it is what it is. See, I mean, here's your little break here for sharpening, such that it is. Very smooth, interesting design. Not sure I'm digging this kind of PVD or whatever coated pivot thing. Not that it's not titanium, but I mean, mill me some lines or something in here, and I don't know if I like this printed on type of logo for wee knives. I think it looks kind of cheapy myself. And of course, you got a stone wash under that anode that's on there. But I mean, their anode seems like it's holding up really good, not fading easily like some other brands do. This holds pretty good. So in any case, milled titanium pocket clip, so it's good that way. Let's weigh it up. Then I'll leave you alone. But yeah, interesting. You know, yeah, like I'm saying, yes, I understand the jipping going all that way back but I still don't think I'd need it, even if I'm in a back position here. I don't need it this far back. I need it about right up to here, which would give you a smoother landing zone. When you flip the knife, you end up right here. I think you could have done without that jimping there. 132 grams, so it's not all that heavy, but it's not that big a knife necessarily either. 4.67 ounces. And so you get Rex out here, and they're pretty darn close to the same size. Oh, and I'm no good with that. Okay. Pretty close. This one actually looks a little bit bigger in this aspect ratio, but you flip them and they don't. But the blades to bolster here should be about the same. You know, pivot to pivot, they should look about the same length. It's just the handle, which it would have been nice to have a little bit more of that for where to put your fingers, although it's making pretty efficient, yes, use of the scales. So really, if you'd extended the handle, then it would have maybe looked a little funky in that respect. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that we ever... Yeah, 3.5, 90 millimeters. Yeah, right at 8. And 20.5 centimeters overall, so... It's a thinker. This one does not turn me on. There's some Wee knives that I love. Absolutely love. This one, yeah, it's not really calling me. But I do like the fact that they did the carbon fiber on both sides, all the titanium hardware, M390 steel, really smooth. Action's really good on this knife. So I've got no complaints there. Actually does pass that detent ball real quick, and it needs to, because this flipper tab is going to pass your thumb, and once that starts dropping, it's going to come around and hit you, and maybe you can avoid getting nicked because this hangs out so far, this unsharpened forward position. So in any case, yeah, smooth, nice. It's good, but I'm really not liking this. Otherwise, the design's cool, and it screams Willumsen. It does. Other than that, hey, what do you think? Let me know. Interesting. The Stixx by Wee Knives. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.